Alright, gentlemen. I just watched all of the GAMBIT stuff, where they gave the streamers pre-access. And I am glad to say I was proven wrong. He was not a DPS that can heal. He is he is a strategist. And when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, I hope that he's like jack of all trades, master of none, since he has this damage boost and this anti-heal and this great healing. But it looks like he just fucking does everything, and he does it really well. Because, okay, so there's already been clips where Gambit can just flank and take out the enemy team, and he can boop them away from him if they get close, and he can apply anti-heal. Imagine playing with Hela, Namor, and Gambit, and your tanks just have anti-heal at all times. I think Gambit is really, really cool. But at the same time, it looks like he only promotes triple support, right? Because he is such a strong support, he is such a strong and flexible support that once you get a grip on it, you can play him with Invis, who just got buffs, and I'm going to talk about that later, the buffs and nerfs and everything, and they're kind of crazy. But you can play him with Invis and like Jeff, and your damage output does not suffer at all. You do crazy damage, and Gambit can go, oh, we're fine on healing right now, anti-heal, spade deck, and just get kills. Or he can go, maybe they're putting a little too much pressure on us right now, and stay with the hearts deck. Like, he's so flexible that there's no real reason to play a DPS over him unless you're going to dive or you're looking for very quick support, so you want to play a certain team up, which is fine. I think the team ups that they added are kind of stupid, silly, broken in a lot of ways. Like the new Blade one, the new Blade one, they're showing it on 2 targets. If you get 2 isolated targets, it's really good, but I think in most cases it's going to bounce to other people, which means the single target damage is going to go way down. At least that's what I'm hoping, because otherwise it's going to be super, super silly. Every 30 seconds you just get to wipe someone out, and that's not good. But I don't think he fixes the problem of triple support. I think that's a problem, that he doesn't fix this. He doesn't fix what is wrong with triple support. He only encourages it because, well, he can do DPS things and do healer things, and his ult is super, super good, especially because it gives you, his ult gives you increased ultimate charge, so you pop it to keep your team alive. And it's not as strong as like an Invis or a Luna ult. Imagine you're playing with Invis and Luna, and you pop that ult, and now they both have their ults, and you're playing against 2 supports. Well, they can't really do anything. You will never die. Like, that is what I'm scared of. Now I am going, oh, he is super, super cool, but he is absolutely busted and will either be played every single game or banned every single game, and that's not good for the game. Like, it feels like that, and I'll talk about this again when I get to the patch notes and the buffs and balances, but it feels like that they are balancing around the ban system instead of balancing and then there's a ban system. Because if there's balancing and a ban system, then you just ban the characters that would harm your playstyle. If you're playing with a group, you ban Wolverine. Not because Wolverine is super mega broken and they need bans, that way people can ban Wolverine, he doesn't terrorize games. No, that's not why you ban Wolverine. You ban Wolverine because he counters Groot, and you want to play Groot, right? That's how it should be done. Wolverine should be a balanced character, and you ban him because it fits your playstyle better. It fits your team comp for him to not be in the game, not the other way around. Because if it's the other way around, everyone's going to be banning them. Like, this last season, everyone bans Hela or Namor almost every single game because that team up is so, so good. If I am playing on a team, Hela and Namor are not banned, and we play it and they don't, we win every single time. If they play it, we don't, we lose every single time, because that like 20 to 30 seconds every time you just can anti-heal the entire team, that's crazy. That's not crazy ability cooldown, and that only enhances triple support. They do not know how to nerf the supports in order to stop the triple support, because people are complaining about it. And how do they fix it? Oh, we'll add more anti-heal. Oh, we'll increase the damage. that only adds more need to play triple support. More damage means you're taking more damage, which means you need to heal more. How do you heal more? You add another support. Hell, we should play quad support now. Give me 2 tanks. A dive tank, a shield tank, Jeff, Invis, Luna, Gambit. I don't know why I counted like this, but that's 6, and that's quad support, and it would probably work because Gambit can just DPS. Luna can 4-tap from across the map. Luna can 3-tap up close if you hit headshots, 4-tap up close if you get body shots. Like, it's insane that these characters do so much damage. And they heal so much, because there's no need to play DPS in a lot of characters unless you're going for the super high, insane burst damage. Like, that's why Psylocke is so good. That's why Black Panther was really good. That's why Iron Fist really isn't as good, because sure, he survives for a long time. He's a nuisance, but he doesn't kill you instantly, so you're gonna survive. It's stupid. It is stupid. And I don't know what they're going to do about it, because they keep adding damage and they keep adding anti-heal to kind of, oh, well, now they won't play triple support because it's not going to matter as much. Well, now they need to, because if I'm not playing triple support and you anti-heal my entire team every 30 seconds with the Namor team up, we're going to lose because there's not enough healing. It's not... I don't know how that doesn't click. And if it does click and they're making the game like this, it's kind of infuriating. I'm going to pull up the patch notes because I don't have them memorized, but I know that they were kind of bonkers. The Angela one, I don't think the Angela one was that bad. She moves faster. She was already good. She's now going to be better. The ultimate ability, Spear Health, I don't think that was needed. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's needed. It's just, maybe it's because in my rank people don't really shoot it. I don't even know if they know whether they can shoot it, but I feel like I'm the only one shooting it sometimes. Especially if I'm on support, trying to save my team, and they're not. My team is in it, and I'm not. I'm the only one who's, like, trying to shoot through them, and feel like I'm the only one hitting it. And you'll just kind of sit in it and accept their fate, like, oh, we're stuck here until the ultimate runs out, but that's not really how it is. But it's probably helpful in ranks where people know what that's doing. It just makes Angela good to better. The Magneto buff is crazy, crazy good for Mag. This is like tank season, because now his shields are separated, which means you can save people more. And outside of bubbling yourself, the shields don't really last that long anyways. It's kind of to offset burst damage. So lowering the 50 health from it, I don't think that's going to matter too much, especially on the shields you give to people. It'll probably affect how long Magneto himself can survive out there, solo, like using the bubble on himself, but that's fine. The Ironwood wall effect for Groot. Let's go to Groot. Gaining unstoppable within 15 meters of that wall. That is crazy work. That is an insane space that he can be in, where I don't think it can't be stunned. I don't think he can't be CC'd at all. I think it's like the Thing, where he can't be moved without his permission. I think. Don't quote me on that. It could be just immune to all CCs, but I'm pretty sure it's just he can't be moved, which means you can play him into Wolverine now. He's actually a good counter for Wolverine. Actually, well, no, because Wolverine can still just stand right in front of you and claw away at you, but because he can't really defend himself against that. But yeah, I think that's crazy. And if it is immunity to CCs, that's even crazier. I think it's good. I think Groot is now really, really good again. Penny Parker. I am a bona fide Penny Parker lover. Pause. I love this character's kit. It just makes sense to me. It's something I like to play. I enjoy playing it. And I really, for the longest time, I had wished she was good. I learned like so many different ways to play her, so that way I could play her unranked and not get my butt eaten out, get my ass eaten. But the ability for your entire teammate to get the healing, the shields, and the movement boost from your webs that you do, That's crazy because it really benefits that control style penny where you place the nest on point and you say, this is my point, you can't stand here, instead of incentivizing flanker penny, because now your entire team is healing. Also, I think this really now just boosts Ultron too, because everyone's standing in the webs, they get healing, and Ultron's healing, you get healing from that, because that'll offset the healing loss that he got last time. Your team won't be feeling it as much. So I think Ultron, once that Penny Parker buff comes out, Penny Ultron might be a pretty good combo. Though I still think that Penny would be kind of worthless without that rocket nest, because the nest is just either all the damage at once or you barely feel it. But I could be wrong. Maybe this buff is just great in itself. Oh, well, I think this buff is great in and of itself in any case. I am just dreading the day that they get rid of the rocket team up, because being able to have 20 of the spiders instead of 10 is crazy, crazy good for Penny. And only having 10 is really bad because it's 400 burst damage, and when 2 tanks stand in there and it's only 200 each of them, that gets out healed really fast, especially with how high healing is in this game. And once it gets out healed super fast, well, it takes 3 seconds for new spiders to spawn. 3 seconds for new spiders to spawn, and then it's 40 damage per spider. So once your team is in that, once that initial burst is gone, it's done. Like, there's no point. But when there's 20 of the spiders, then it becomes really good, because, well, now that's up to 800. Now every 3 seconds, it's every 3 seconds, it's 160 damage that will be dealt to the enemy team. It's probably going to end up splitting amongst multiple people, but I mean, it's not that bad. And the reduction that she got in the last time she got buffed, it's the speed reduction. I don't know. I love Penny. I think this buff is going to do wonders for her. I still don't think she's going to be meta, but I think she'll be really, really good on the maps that she's really, really good on. Captain America's buff, insane. It's not going to buff the main character. Like, he'll still be kind of where he is in the meta. I think he'll go up. He'll be played more, but he won't be broken, because he's still not super good, because they ruined his survivability so many times. He's still not super good, so he's just going to go in there, do what he normally does, but his ult is going to be crazy good, because it's a mini support ult, and like I said, for the Gambit ult, it supercharges your support ults. So imagine playing Gambit, Luna, Invis, and Cap. You're going to have immortality circles for, like, every team fight. And there's no way around that. There's just going to be so many times that you can support ult. And that's going to be crazy, because you'll essentially have 4 support ults, 2 of them not being as strong healing-wise, but they boost the healing. They boost the ultimate efficiency gain of the other ones, which means you have the immortalities more often. Hulk Screen Goliath, I think the Gamma Burst is his, I think it's his clap, so I think that's not super broken. It's actually pretty good. It's really good for his character. It's not super broken. Makes Hulk really viable. I like that change. The Thing might be so back, because I love the Thing. I just hated how ass he was, because everyone was like, oh, he's good counter dive. I don't even think he's good counter dive, because for him to be good counter dive, you have to dive in this game. I think I mentioned it in my last game, but you have to stop it in my last video, but you have to stop it before it happens. If you don't stop it before it happens, they die before you can do anything. And so, like Ben Grimm, the Thing, Ben Grimm, God, I'm too much of a fucking nerd. He can't jump back there fast enough and stop them. Someone's going to die, so he has to kind of stay near them. But even then, when you slam, it doesn't knock people down. That slam, it only gives you the grounded effect when you are standing on the ground in that area. So if you get hit on the outside, just input out and you will always be free. If you get hit on the outside, even if you're right on him and he slams you, you have to slam before they get into it, because if your slam hits them, it pops them up, and then they can just use a movement ability while they're in the air and they survive. It's happened so many times when I try and stop Black Panther, when I try and stop Magic, like, or even Iron Fist. Like, it's just, come on, dude. If the ground pulled them down to the ground, because then they're grounded, dude, it would be so good for stopping movement abilities. But right now, it just kind of doesn't, because it pops them up. I've been playing the thing, right? And I slam a Cap, and instead of Cap not being able to get out of there, he just uses his dash. He uses his slam, or his dash, or his slam to get out, and then he can sprint because he's out of the area. Why does it pop him up? You kind of have to, like, use it preemptively, but it's on a 10-second cooldown, and if you use it preemptively, they're just gonna wait it out. Dive characters will just wait it out, and that's not very fun or good. It's like, oh, the dive player gets to play his solo player game, and I do my best to try and play the game. The thing rant over. I think his buffs are crazy, crazy good. They lowered his self-damage reduction, which I thought that was already a problem with him, because he kind of just stands there and gets farmed by a lot of characters, especially DPS characters. He just gets damage farmed because he doesn't have a good way of keeping that damage resistance up, and it's not even a lot of damage resistance. But his ability to, you gain shields up to 100 based on the amount of damage you deal, vulnerability on an entire group of people, which is essentially just a damage boost to your entire team, and he gets to be a tank buster now. He's going to completely change. And then giving the 20% damage reduction to all allies, that's going to completely change the game for him too. I don't think he's going to be super meta, because it looks like since they lowered his damage reduction and the cooldowns are on the same thing, it's still going to be hard to keep that damage reduction up. So he's going to have to be super aggressive, I feel, in order to not get farmed. But we're home, baby. That's pretty cool. That's cool as all hell. Now the DPS is where my problems start to happen, right? Hawkeye kind of needed a damage boost, right? It increases the maximum bonus damage to 90. That's fine. Like, he kind of needed the damage. It's still a skill check to play him. Phoenix, they needed to make Phoenix better close range, so that way they kept the old dynamic of Hela will always beat her in a distance duel, but Phoenix was a monster up close, better than Hela ever was. But now they just made Phoenix better Hela, it sounds like because Phoenix will just be able to stand at a greater range and do more damage and all the explosions and kill people super fast, and now there's no incentive to play up close because the melee doesn't do the sparks anymore. I don't know. It's just kind of damage boost to Phoenix, because we needed Phoenix to do more damage because Hela was outclassing her, whereas in the last patch, Phoenix was broken and needed a way to tamper that back, but they each had their own respective roles, where Phoenix was better up close, Hela was better at range. I like that dynamic better. Mr. Fantastic, I really like his buffs. I think it takes him from being a duelist that kinda tanks sometimes, but his damage is too low, to a true tank duelist hybrid, because it gets rid of that bonus health. So, like, when he reaches inflated state, he no longer gets bonus health. Instead, his health bar expands to that of a tank. He gets 350 extra health in his health bar, and then an extra 350 healing. So that way, if he takes burst damage or while they're shooting him, you can just keep healing him, and then when it runs out, he can lower it. And for his own survivability, you no longer have to cancel your inflated state, then press shift, because there was so much animations. You can just press your shift during inflated state and pop down to your big wall mode, and that's pretty good for him. I think that's really great. Storm. Storm is going to be crazy strong. And I think they're making so many crazy strong people, because there'll be Gambit, there'll be Storm, Phoenix will probably be banned, Hela will still have to be banned, Daredevil didn't get any nerfs, and he's still kind of a terrorist. Like, Storm's I think I already said Storm, but she's gonna have to be banned, because when she's not using her extra boost ability, it's now 12% damage boost, and when she is, it's 15% damage boost, which is the same amount of damage boost it was when she was a permaban, and now that all the other damage numbers are up, which means she's crazy good. It's insane. Why would you do that? Like, I understand she wasn't that good, but, like, Come on, man. We've already been here. We've done this. We've played these games before. And I have the same comment for Squirrel Girl. While I don't think she's very good, I don't think she is like a top tier character. She's good. She's not like... She didn't need the damage boost is what I'm saying. You put her back at where she was pre-nerf, and I don't think she needed to be there because she's a romper in low elos. If I'm anywhere when the season restarts, sometimes I'll be from... Not sometimes. I'm in Diamond GM, so I go down, and I will see so many people playing Squirrel Girl, and they're not good at the game, but they hit their shots because it's Squirrel Girl, and they bounce, and that's okay. The point is that her and Wanda are very easy to play mechanically, so that way anybody can play DPS. Like, the Punisher as well. Anybody can play the Punisher. You just have to have a little bit of aim. You played COD, you can play the Punisher. That's the point of them. But then you put them at that level where they're super, super strong. They're so strong, but they require very little input or skill, and that's not fun for the user experience. The amount of times I've gotten hit, like, I'm playing strategist, and I am behind a wall. They cannot see me, and I've gotten stunned, or I've gotten hit, and I'm like, oh my god, dude. And then I'll go look at the camera, and they're not even aiming at me. I'm getting hit by shots that they were missing on our tanks. It makes me so mad, and the fact that they're just upping the damage, it wasn't needed. I don't think it hurts the game. It's just not needed, man. I do like the Spider-Man buffs. They allow him to... I can't be a Spider-Man fan to make that sound. It's thwip thwip. God damn it, dude. I fucking love Spider-Man. They allow him to thwip his web clusters more. I think that's better because I think Spider-Man should not be a character who does the bullshit pull. I don't care how skilled it is. I don't care how many button inputs you take. That is bullshit. Like, it's bullshit. It's not fun to play against. It's only fun for them. You play your solo player game. You can do this in a solo player game. It's a multiplayer game that doesn't require interaction from me, and there's nothing I can do to fix it, right? I can't save myself from it on a variety of characters, and they know that, and they only choose the characters where you can't. And, like, come on, man. Right? I think you should take that away, give him like 50 more HP, and then make him so that way it incentivizes him swinging around, being super evasive, diving in and out, hitting those uppercuts, maybe going for a combo, like a easy kill combo when you can, but not aiming for that all the time. Because do you know how fast his uppercut regenerates compared to his pull? There's a reason for that, so he can zip to the ground and do more combos and hit more people. He's supposed to be in and out, up and around, and super hard to hit, so that way, like, I don't know, but people just... But because of the high damage numbers in this game, and the fact that he doesn't do those high damages, he can't one-shot combo someone like Psylocke or Black Panther, or a few other dived supports like Daredevil. So instead, that's what you have to do, and because he can't do that, he's bad. And I think the playstyle where Spider-Man fights people like he's Spider-Man, like he does in the comics and in the movies, should be encouraged, but it can't be unless you crank up everybody's health, so that way unless you fix the damage and healing problem, but it doesn't look like it because Phoenix got a damage boost, Hawkeye got a damage boost, Storm got a damage boost, and Squirrel Girl got a damage boost, and I've got 2 more DPS to talk about, and Spider-Man's getting a damage boost. They don't know what to do with it. They just keep going, oh my god, healing's too strong. Here's the DPS button. Slide it up. Slide up anti-heal. Huh? Our damage is too high? Our damage? Who could have seen that coming? Oh my god, well, we're gonna crank up the healing. People are complaining that triple support is meta, and that triple support is too strong and healing's too strong. Increase the damage. Increase the anti-heal. There's too much damage. We'll increase the healing again. It doesn't make sense to me, dude. But the Punisher's buff just looks like it increases his damage to where it was, right? It increases the damage to where it was because he's losing the anchor team up. That's fine. I don't care. He might be a little stronger now because he gets more pellets. I don't know. I didn't do the math, but it's whatever. The Wolverine buffs. I'm gonna lose my shit, dude. They just gave us old Wolverine back. They went, how do we ensure that Gambit doesn't get banned every game? That the characters that we're buffing don't get banned every game? Well, put in this fucking furry that terrorizes everybody. Because you can't even play one tank against this Wolverine. If you play one tank against this Wolverine, well, this Wolverine just has a field day with him. Their mag bubbles him. Their Luna puts a snowflake. Ultron has the drone. You can literally do anything to keep this motherfucker alive. Oh, he still has the Phoenix team up. So this Wolverine, who has an increased damage for his rage, and an increased damage for their hit points, and the old, because they increase the rage damage, the amount of damage he does depending on his rage, and it's percent damage, so that stacks up really quickly. And they gave us his old leap cooldown time back, because it used to be 12, then they upped it to 15, and now it's going to be 12 again. Like, you can do anything to keep him alive, and he just romps on your one tank. The only solution to this that I can see is 3 tanks, so that way when, not if, when he takes one of your tanks into a back alley and kills them, you have 2 other ones. You play 3 tanks, 3 supports. I think that's the solution. Or you play 2 tanks Wolverine, 3 supports, and your solution is that when their Wolverine takes your tank into a back alley, you take their tank into a back alley. And it's a fight of who has the better Wolverine. And that is not fun. It's not fun unless you're winning. And that's so ass. I don't know, man. They really are balancing around ban these characters. Because Wolverine's gonna get banned now. Captain America might get banned. Penny's definitely gonna get banned, especially on certain maps. Supports are probably going to end up getting banned. Gambit, people are going to want to ban Gambit because he's super, super strong. He looks like he's going to be super OP. Gambit, there's no way he's not OP, and he's going to get banned. Doctor Strange, Angela, Groot, Thing, they can't ult anymore. They don't get the ability to ult, because if you ult, a Gambit can cleanse, and it's on an ability, not an ult. He can cleanse in 3 different ways, 2 of them being abilities, and so those tanks just can't ultimate, or they have to kill Gambit, then ultimate, and that's not good for the game. He's just going to be super OP, and I think they're doing that on purpose, so that way people play him in quick play and ban him in competitive, and that way it takes up 1 of 2 ban slots, and now you can't ban everyone that you have to, and that's fucking ass. But for the strategists balances, and this is fun, isn't it? The strategist balances are kind of the craziest ones, because Adam Warlock, I'm not a big fan, but I don't really care about these ones. They increased his speed after he deaths, and he's in that ghost mode. He gets double his speed. They lowered the energy cost, which I already thought was pretty low to begin with, because they've already lowered it before, and they increased the detection radius to 35 meters. That's fine, I guess. Cloak and Dagger gets 270 health. That just fucks over people who want to play dive characters, because now they really can't mess up, and then Cloak and Dagger becomes not a target for them. But what are you gonna do when supports are too strong next season? What are you gonna do? Invis gets Invis, one of the best strategists, and I would know because I played tank and strategist primarily. Invis is crazy fucking strong. If no one's on your team playing her, someone's gotta play Invis. Like, come on, dude. Her orb projection damage goes up to 30. So now she hits people for more damage with her primary, and they go farther. She hits people for more damage with her primary, they go farther, and they travel faster, which means she's shooting faster, which means she's doing more damage faster. The force physics, her push, that also goes farther, so you can hit people farther with that. And the only buff that I really liked about Sue in this one that I went, oh yeah, that's a really good change. If your shield's not currently out, you can press F and put it right in front of you. Because there's a lot of times where I'll have to go to like my duo or talk in game chat and go, hey, can you walk near me real quick? I need my shield. And then I'll put it on them and then I stand by it. Like, I do agree with that one. I think that's fine. Rocket. I think Rocket's going to be fine after this. He's at the point where you just hold right click unless someone dives you anyways. And when someone dives you, if it's a tank, you dash, float, and hold left click on them. And if it's not, you run away. So there's nothing you can really do to make him better or worse. They didn't increase his healing. They increased how many orbs he could have out at once. The speed of his orbs, the speed of his attack, and his BRB cooldown. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's going to change much about Rocket. I could be completely wrong in that, but it doesn't sound like it's all that impactful. Loki, though. Loki got more health, which makes him less diveable. Plus, he already had those runes and the Mantis team up, which made the runes bigger and do more. The one that I think is really cool, though, is his mystical missiles. His primary attack. The fall-off damage is much, much less. Because it used to be at 3 meters, from point blank to 3 meters, they lose 50% of their attack power, and that was crazy because they were like, oh, so you just can't be used because you're not placing the clones within 3 meters of the enemies. And his biggest thing was that he can flex, he can do damage, he can target the tanks for pressure, he can target your tanks for healing, he can heal other people, he has the runes. He was so flexible. He was like as flexible as our Gambit is, but honestly, I'll say it, I think Loki, before his huge nerf, was not as broken as Gambit is about to be. That's my prediction. Actually, he was probably more broken. I take that back. He was probably more broken because he could copy a support ult and you would have 24 seconds of Luna. But whatever, either way, I do think this is a really good change because now his clones do 80% of the normal damage and then 80% fall off after 3 meters. So the clones aren't doing as much damage as they were, but they can still be really good pressure, especially against like a strange shield or something. I still think that's going to be pretty good. And the best part is that if you hit someone directly, they get an extra 10 health from your healing. I think it should have been 10 health / damage if you hit anybody directly, because I think that rewards good aim. But I understand why, because the clones would accidentally hit people. The extra 10 health, it's not going to be a game changer. I still don't think he's going to climb and be the best support in the game again, but I just think he's going to be pretty good now. The Blade Moon Knight team up. I think it's going to be pretty good. He's going to be great for diving, and like you pop that on a tank and then just slash into them with a Bloodline Awaken form. That's going to be pretty good. The Magneto team up, his Mystical Sword is so back. I never thought that the Mystical Sword was needed. Hear me out. Back in Season 0, that sword didn't do too much damage, especially after they boosted the damage of his primary. It was pretty much the same amount of damage. You didn't really need it, but this one looks like it does way more damage. He's going to be kind of a threat. Okay. He's so back. Maybe I go back on a Magneto kick, because I have like 40 hours Lord Mag, because I thought he was so fun, and then he just kind of got boring when they took all his team-ups away. And his only team up was Emma, and you just press the button and ooh, there's clones, and like it was fine. But the Hawkeye team up, I don't think it's gonna be that impactful. The Black Widow team up will be interesting because she does lose. It looked like she lost her ability to headshot, but she got to shoot much faster for less damage, and it looked like it looks like they might explode, so you can shoot the front line, heal your tanks, and damage their tanks. I could be wrong about that. You might have to specifically hit one or the other and choose whether you're healing or damaging, but it looks like it's going to be interesting. It's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, those are my thoughts. I think the game, most of what I said in my last video, is pretty much still the same. I think Gambit is going to be super broken. He's going to do too much damage and too much healing, so that way he only enforces triple support and makes triple support even better because of his anti-heal. But, all that considered, I am very glad that he is interesting, that he is cool, he is complicated, and he is not just a DPS that heals, like Adam or Ultron. He is actually his primary heals, he does good healing, and can damage. He doesn't have to heal bot. I think supports that don't have to heal bot is what we should aim for. I just wish it was more in the utility section instead of the damage area. But I'm glad he's cool. I'm glad to be proven wrong that I thought he was going to be awful. I just think he's going to be bad for the game. He's going to be way too OP, banned every game or played every game. And what are you going to do? Wet Willy!